Jess Phillips, a safeguarding minister in the Labour government, is an international laughingstock and a national disgrace. She does not care about women and children, at least in any meaningful way from what I can discern from her actions. She was recently on an interview with Channel 4 and she was taken apart by the host because she has voted for Labour's early prisoner release scheme, which is going to put thousands of vulnerable women and children and everyone else at risk because of the prison crisis and the lack of prison spaces in this United Kingdom. So without further ado, I'm going to play the video now. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to assess a few things that she says, which are frankly quite shocking.
Sorry if I'm being obtuse here, but you will have understood when you voted for that bill, you will have understood that some of these offenders would inevitably get out, and that did include sexual abusers, domestic abusers, and rapists. You will have understood part of the bill meant some of these people would get out.
Absolutely, that some of these people would get out.
So she's on camera admitting that she knew that these vile offenders, the worst of the worst, would be let out because of her actions in Parliament. Some safeguarding minister that is the exact opposite of what you're trying to do, is keep these monsters in prison. You want to do that. You don't want to let them out onto the streets. Some of these offenders, by the way, they get off with as little as a third of the sentence served. And the level of luxury they've got in prison is second to none. It should be hard labour, all right? So she fully understood what she was doing, and she did it anyway. Now, not fit for office, not fit for government, not fit for Parliament.
That is why I sought to have risk assessments put in place and fought back against the idea of just instant release.
So she fought back against it. She fought back against the idea of instant release, but as we find out in a moment or so, she voted down an amendment that would mean the risk assessments wouldn't be needed.
Yes. I mean, you say you fought back, but in October 2025, Conservatives laid an amendment which would exclude rapists, paedophiles and groomers. You voted against it. Why? Because there is...
Look, she's pretty much laughing at the question. She's saying here that she voted against the amendments that would have took these serious offenders out of the early release scheme. She voted against it. Let's hear why.
It's a prisons crisis. I also want to lock up those prisoners.
Yes, but victims have told us that your prisons crisis is being laid at their door.
Completely agree. There's over 10,000 foreigners in British prisons. Why can't we deport them? That would free up some spaces, first and foremost. Any sexual offender should be serving the full term of their sentence. For a safeguarding minister to go onto TV and to barely keep a straight face saying, well, she voted against the Tory amendment because she has to, essentially, because of the prisons crisis. I'm not buying that bull. Are you buying it? Comment below. You let me know.
But they are telling us that you saw Carol in that clip, visibly shaking at the prospect of a man, her father, who raped her every day, visibly shaking at that letter saying that he may be out early.
Well, the first thing I'd say is that Carol shouldn't have received that letter is my absolute view. Frankly, I think that it has been handled appallingly. One of the victims that you had on yesterday, her perpetrator had only just gone away. Like, there's absolutely no way that she should be thinking about.
But these are the consequences of your actions. Actions have consequences. Regardless of the assurances you received from the government, which you're a part of, regardless of that, you voted for this bill, you voted for it, and this is the consequence. So it's all right to plead ignorance now. It's like, well, these people shouldn't have been released. You voted for this. You voted. It's on you. It's on you, effectively.
When he is released that is now. What you voted for. And the women,
that is not what I voted
not just
for.
The women yesterday.
Well, it's what you got, sweetheart. It's what you got.
You voted for a bill whereby the nature of it, the fact it was about sentences, not offences, meant that some of these perpetrators would be out.
Well, but then I have to say that we were given all sorts of assurances about risk and action that will be taken with victims that has not been taken, that has not come to fruition. And frankly, I don't think that those people should be released.
So it's somebody else's fault, not your fault. This is the managerial state back in full swing here. Never taking accountability, blaming somebody else, saying, well, I was told this would happen, X, Y, and Z will happen. Best laid plans of mice and men. No, I'm not having it. It's your fault. Resign. Resign as an MP. Get the Islamists in. That's who's going to be replacing you in a few years, love.
Until all of those risk assessments have been put in place. But if we do not have some form of prison release, just like the Tories have on all of these categories, then we will not be able to lock people up.
In October last year, when the bill finally got over the line on the third reading, which you voted for, the Shadow Justice Minister, Kieran Mullins, said, it will come back to haunt every single one of you. When victims ask you, why did you vote for something but let their perpetrators out early, what will you say to them?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what's happened, isn't it, Jess? It's come back and it's bit you on the ass. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person. First thing you should be doing is arguing to deport all the foreign criminals. Why are we paying for them? You can free up all those spaces, first and foremost. That would be my advice to you. You shouldn't be going on TV saying, well, this prisoner shouldn't have been released or this prisoner shouldn't have been released. Well, none of them should be released and it's completely your fault. Accept it. Own it. Have a badge saying, I do not safeguard anyone but my job.
Does it haunt you now?
It doesn't haunt me. It makes me get to work to make sure that those assessments are done properly. You're going to be having people in this weekend who will be raped, and there won't be a prison place for them. But I can't be asked to pick between those three women and the three women who will be raped in exactly or children that will be raped in exactly the same.
Build more prisons, stronger deterrence, deport the people that shouldn't be in our prisons. There's a few things. And maybe for the worst offenders, a short drop and a sudden stop. That would be my advice to the Labour government. Anyway, we'll end this here. Have I got the mark of Jess Phillips right? Do you think I'm being too polite? Do you think I'm being too harsh? All opinions are valid. I encourage open debate and discourse in the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe. Do all of that great stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.